sharp should be tonight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think we're good.
Well, welcome, everybody. Hello. Thank you all for being here. And I will now call this meeting to order, Monday, October 6th. So our first order of business is approval of our meeting minutes from August 4th. You can recall that far back. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to.
Thank you, Lonnie. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
The motion has been approved. The minutes are approved for August 4th. All right. And new business. Welcome, Kellis, to the Arts Commission.
So Kellis has to leave at 5:30, so I'll let you introduce yourself, but Kellis is an artist and art teacher. And she did a student art show here. And it was fabulous and just has all the qualifications we've really been looking for in a new member. But because she has classes Mondays, she'll be zooming in from here on out. But you could just briefly introduce yourself and anything you want to say and let people know about your art background.
Yeah, actually, I lived in Korea, so, and then I grew up there in 30 years. And then I went to, art high school, like, I studied art. And then after I went to, the Southern course of art studies college. And after that, something to the art center and be much career. So, dinner, so fun. And that's my, the great career there in, Seoul, and also that I actually did a bunch of operations, which is an SEC company for, so, and then I bring all my experience to the it's truly like I wasn't really within my cases. So I can try to all my work studying because I'm going for kids, the rest minor ages. And possibly military. I moved to stay so much. So yeah, so I finally there I guess sorry. So,
And so you're currently curating for APCC at First College, right? And then teaching.
it's
That's really cool.
yeah, and also I'm a freelance curator, so Seattle everywhere.
So this is great because then you know the artists and so you
Yeah.
all this down. So
How long have you lived in Lakewood?
That's gonna, I'm not.
Or in Tacoma?
Yeah, Tacoma, 10 years. 10 years.
Oh, okay, wow, cool.
Yeah, because I told my husband, no more activities. And then
Yeah.
decided to study my career, so we changed the. Oh, okay, yeah. Good for you.
Thank you and walk out.
Yeah, it's good to
We're
have you.
really, really fortunate to. Okay, so. Next.
Is this what you have a PowerPoint for?
Yes,
All
it's
right.
the octopus. So this is, hi Sylvie.
Hi.
The teacher wanted the Arts Commission to kind of give a final stamp of approval for this mural. The caveat is it's a private organization. It's the Commencement Day Rowing Company. They have this building at Harry Todd Park, and they I don't know if they want to do this mural or they've done this mural, but it's kind of just, I thought it was very respectful for him to ask the art commission just to give consent. I thought it was fabulous. I said, no problem. I'll run it by him, but I think we should just, probably take a vote that we all agree that, if we do all agree that it's, acceptable.
I think it's really cool.
I love it, it's great.
So, hold on. I can make a
And
motion.
that's the whole thing, that whole keeping you with the oars, like holding like that for photos, like. That's a big motion.
All right. So to be official, so, would anyone like to motion to approve the octopus mural?
I second that.
All right. All right, motion has passed. The octopus is approved. That's very cool. So that's it.
It will be, yes.
So, great.
And then the other one, right? Go to
No,
the other
yeah.
property.
Okay, and so, you can go to the sketch.
Okay, so our next order of business, sculpture at Bradley Lake with Nyanza, that roundabout, that, this was something that
sorry,
had been
yeah.
mentioned at the, commission meeting that we attended with
Sorry.
city council.
I got together based on
You?
Yep.
where they.
Yes, okay.
Oh, was
So-
it in
Actually,
the
it's
other?
the other.
It's in the other one.
Yeah.
We had a meeting with our
Sorry.
group. On Friday, to kind of start everything, and so. We're going to reach out to some of our favorite past artists that through their hat. But we have.
Do you want to know it came up in the, you think of first,
Like what part?
doing taste in it.
Yeah, cause cause
Maybe
he,
just for those who.
yeah, so. Every year, the Arts Commission has to go before the city council. And present what we had done that previous year, and then also at that point, we're tasked with new responsibilities from the council. And so Sarah Whalen had suggested doing a sculpture of what will be the new roundabout at Nyanza at Bradley Lake Drive. And so I'm very interested in this project because it's basically on my doorstep. And I will be looking at it. And so, plus this area I've always wanted to see freshened up pretty much my whole entire life. And, so I asked Sally if I could, head up, a group to kind of take charge on this, and Lonnie and, Lua and Phil and I met on Friday. And we're going to choose some of our favorite artists that threw their hat in the ring for the Motor Avenue Colonial Plaza art, because, doing a call to artists and everything like that, it's, we've got a big enough pool, to actually, choose from a lot of, different artists and kind of narrow it down to something. And then I'm also checking with Mayor Whalen on the logistics of doing a fundraiser as well, to see if we can increase either to see if we can do a higher ticket item, increase that budget more. Because the city's not allowed to do a fund, because they're a fund. But there is a way to actually solicit funds from people in a certain manner to where we could, not shy away from actually doing something pretty cool.
What's the budget? $10,000.
We don't even have a budget.
There is no
It's like,
budget.
no, this is like
Well, we-
still new.
Yeah, I think, Mickey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have $60,000.
Mhm.
For art, so then we do have,
Yeah.
50.
Yeah,
If we don't do any signal.
yeah,
And then, and it carries over if we don't spend it, and then anything.
mhm. So we're pretty excited about that, and yeah, this was a piece that he had suggested that was in his office. And I think it's been there for quite some time. I think it was from a couple of mayors ago. And I had reached out to this artist, but I have not gotten any reply from this artist currently. And ever since I've been on the Arts Commission, it seems like one struggle we've always had is who we are as Lakewood, and we seem to have a very big identity crisis because we have a lot of different demographics going on with these boundaries. But it seems like one thing that everybody really agrees on is the beauty and the uniqueness of the Gary Oak. I mean, it belongs kind of only to Lakewood. It's not like it's growing in Tacoma. I mean, it's pretty, centralized to one of these regions, and it's interesting that it is in that way. And then, but a lot of people really have a unique fascination with it and a real respect for it. And it'd be kind of interesting if we could do something Gary Oak theme, whatever artist we do choose, if we could kind of present that with them as the idea for them to kind of build it upon. Because, through that theme, whether it be branches or leaves, I think you can capture a lot of different spirits that, that live within the bounds of things through that one tree. So
And so
that's just my idea.
Yeah, we'll go, so I did a PowerPoint of, that group was talking about using the top 3 artists from the last time we vetted artists for the Colonial Plaza. So I pulled up their artwork so you can get a feel for it, and it starts with Helen Drugan-T, or actually it starts with Mary Cross. So you can just get a feel for their art. And kind of envision it in a roundabout. And I have reached out to Public Works to find out what our exact parameters are. I
Yeah,
also
because
put the price point so we can get an idea of what we can.
there will be parameters for this roundabout. It's not like we can make it a solid structure. They want people to be able to view traffic coming into the circle on their side.
Yeah, so this totem kind of thing.
If there's enough room.
Yeah.
This will be about 60 feet in diameter, from what I remember, so it'll roughly be about the same size as the one on Washington. No, the one on Bradley Lake Drive in Veterans. It'll be about that size. And I think it was 60 feet in diameter, from what I remember seeing the plans.
Councilmember Balance here and.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, good. Okay. How much time do you? We were just discussing the trailer about, but we've done quite way.
No, I'm.
Okay. Okay.
Do whatever you need to.
Okay. So just from the joint commission meeting, Mayor Wellen talked about putting a sculpture in Rabbit Science Roundabout, so we're going through the top 3 artists that were in the running for Colonial Plaza. So this is Mary Cross. And then this is Helen Drugan, and I did start out with their oak, one of their proposals, which was an oak tree. And put the next slide. They talked about why, and Earl just touched on that. It's iconic. It's unique to our prairie habitats, symbol of community. She believes it's like a person connected to the community, nourishing the greater whole, tree of life symbolism, and so on. So this is an old picture they got of the prairie and the oaks, which is really cool. This is kind of like the present day oak that you see like out at Portsmouth Park. And then they go on to their concept. So again, thinking about their roundabout, all of their work for the most part is lighted. And then I've got several other photos where you can just kind of get a feel for what that would look like. Nice. And then this is called the lantern tree, and they had talked about getting the community involved by getting their handprints. So the trunk has hands, and then all of the little leaves are all hands. So it's also a way to involve the community, and then there's several more pictures of that. That's it in the daytime. And again, it's very like you can see through it. It's not, doesn't block traffic. Both of those are kind of singular slimmer pieces.
I'm so glad you found these, because I remember this when we went through, and I loved this.
They're very interesting parties. Husband and wife team. They did. And I think they also did a piece of the,
And, you know, so this piece, I was like, oh, that'd be perfect, that's $350,000, so.
yeah, but then Mary Cross was $110,000 or something. Well, stop.
Yeah, but yeah, yes,
That's why we had a neighbor who's gonna help fundraise.
exactly. So this is called the Grove of Light. It's, again, I think just this type of work would go really well because it's slim, you can see through it, very artistic. This is called Iridescent Cloud. It's just one of their pieces that they've done. The other two, the first two were concepts that they did specifically for our community. These are pieces they've already done. Isn't that cool? So this is a husband-wife team.
Sally, and while we're thinking of it, while we're on this slide, if you could maybe use something like this as a good idea to ask the city if, like, let's say, if you could ask the city, would something like this fly?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you can see through it. And I just kind of want to have a good idea of what the city's expectations are. Because you can still see through it, but they may say, no, we wouldn't want anything like this.
Public works.
No, to see through, because they want people, yeah, public works, exactly. Yeah,
Public.
they want to see the other side of the story,
Okay,
so.
the engineers.
And then this is Paul Sorey. So he's the third artist that we like, that the team liked. I mean, they're similar in the way that they have these long, kind of long steps and then leaves or flowers. He focuses more on interactive art, but I think some of these are water features. This really speaks to like omnibus type thing. So,
What's the first one?
Mary Cross.
Mary Cross.
They don't think it's right? Was it sold? Oh.
That's the one, well, if you go up one, that's
That's the
the
one
one
she-
that Mayor Whalen was
Like,
after
they-
thing at the joint commission.
Yeah.
That's been in the process. That artist did not get back to her, I think he's quite old.
Okay,
Yeah,
And then, so Mary Cost is the one that you.
And I think that, the mayor and I were talking about that just because we're trying to think of some consistency, some placemaking, some real identity that we can start to create for Lakewood. But I mean, I think you can do that with like area practice, or, you know what I mean? I think
that's what
there's-
I had, right before you
Yeah.
came in, that's what we were talking about is. Maybe we, whatever artist we choose, we give them the, the karaoke as the template that, work out.
I think that that would be really good, because this is right when you're coming into Lakewood and you're trying to do something that is very entry, placemaking, and then all the stuff you guys are doing is a lot of placemaking, so I think that that's great. And it's really playing into my identity, so that, it's just in mind, and you
and it is unique to our.
It is.
Very, and the little
Yes.
world.
And you don't wanna go crazy with it. I'm not saying, you don't wanna go nuts with it, everything is stereo.
Yeah.
But it seems appropriate for that entrance, that entry, or that gateway to the city, that seems really appropriate.
Yeah, because it's a good, it represents everybody in the community.
It really does, and I just think it would be a really good.
It is had two images.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just didn't see, I remember them from, Colonial Plaza, because, so I like their.
So then Nikki, we are done with that slide if we go to, I mean, we can keep talking just yet, and we'll go to the. No. So does, next step. Or next step.
Well, I think next steps, I mean, if people wanted to be involved in this project, you're welcome to be involved in our little group. But I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on the artists that have been presented so far. Because it is our intent to craft a mission statement and to reach out to these artists to see if they would have any time and an availability, you know, to actually do a monument / sculpture of this scale. And so, and we kind of want to move quickly on this because, you know, the council is going to be going through some changes at the end of the year. And it would be nice to kind of have some of these things set in place before any of those changes were made.
And we'll have to, the artist, the first thing they're gonna want is a budget.
Yep. And like I said, I reached out to the mayor about prospective fundraising, you know, from doing a fundraiser outside of the city of Lakewood. And we're gonna be waiting to hear on the logistics of that, but it is possible. It just wouldn't be through city channels.
I know that the mission statement, for what it was the quote that we, the criteria for the public works. Holding with that too.
Exactly.
What you can expect.
And if everybody has any,
Guarantee or whatever.
and I mean, I'm just throwing out the Gary Oak idea because I think it's a good one, but we're open to everybody's input. It's not, and so if anybody has any thoughts or additional comments or questions, you can feel free right now.
So these are quite expensive projects.
Yep.
And so this is a serious fundraising effort.
There's some very interested residents in, there's a lot of people that use that intersection.
There
Daily
is-
basis that live on Bradley Lake,
Yes,
Silicon Lake, and American Lake, and I've already spoken to a good amount of very interested parties about this.
and what is the time frame in which it would have to be secured?
Well, I don't know about, you know, as far as that, I think we have some flexibility going into the new year.
Yeah.
As far as actually doing a formal fundraiser, but as long as we kind of, you know, I feel like as long as we get the artist and the concept kind of down before the end of the calendar year, that will be the most important.
And usually they just want a deposit for that.
Exactly.
They were saying, you get $50.
And it's not operational, I think, I mean, there's gonna be some stuff that you have to spend before in 1 year or something. So I'm not quite sure, but that is, it'll be that.
Yeah, and I mean, the Dodge Drugan, you know, they're expensive,
Yes.
but it would be, I think it would be a real feather in Lakewood's cap to actually have an artist of their caliber do a piece for us here. And if, you know, I mean, if the city, has a line item budget of maybe, I don't know, $60,000 to $100,000, you know, and their piece was way more than that, we could make up the rest of the funds via fundraiser as well.
I'm not sure about where the money's. And
Yeah.
I don't know, as I've heard out tactic for some things, and again, don't know if it's some general fund or capital or any of that.
You know,
So,
I think one thing, and Susan, you've worked with artists, but maybe let's say we pick out a turbine. We could have them come out and give us an estimate of what. it would
Exactly.
cost. Right?
And give them, but I mean, obviously, I think you guys probably should give your artists a little bit more parameters, like for an IT. Because I think in the past, it's been kind of, and then you get back and people are pushing back, or they did like this or that. But I think you guys sound like you really, you have a general idea. We know that
Yeah.
this is our gateway. This is a really big space that we want it to be something spectacular.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
the area stuff. I mean, so there are more parameters for the lighting.
Most definitely.
You know, this, and it's all wired for all that kind of stuff. So just those kinds.
No
of
water.
things. No, no water.
And they just only think here, you know, the forward looking, but they've already put the budget, so. If we want that, we.
I don't know if it's that. I'm just saying, in general, if you gave them just a little tiny bit of direction.
And I think very, very critically important to be just digging into the conversation a little bit with the artists as to whether they would help with the fundraising for the magical.
Sure.
So it would be great to put their name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, more people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but, and because the donors like to hear from the artist.
Yes, so you mean in terms of being there and speaking.
Yes, speaking and, perhaps bringing some of their, um, both donors to the thing.
Yep.
That's all of that. And if they're willing to do that, then it becomes,
Well, then you
What
could,
is
that,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And then you put
It is.
their social, their, all that kind of stuff, you can really leverage and get that out there.
exactly, because a lot of these bigger name artists, they do already have a good donor pool. You
Yes,
know, that will contribute to like anything they attach their name to, simply because they love their art, they love them.
yeah, and they want to see them successful and they
Exactly.
want us to improve them to have a piece here in Lakewood in such a prominent position. It's a very big, yeah.
And don't forget, we're doing the connector through that area too. Really, you know, it's just, it's all so good.
Oh, to Telecom,
Yeah,
yeah,
so I mean,
That's
that's maybe
really
another
cool.
thing about a lot of inclusivity, a lot of it being accessible, things like that, I think, you know, connecting our city. And I think that also.
yeah, because even the branches of the Gario could have some subtle representations of. You know, the many demographics that actually live within our borders and boundaries, I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it has to have verbiage, but it, you know, there could be just some subtle little pieces where it just, you know. It represents everything.
I love the height too, thank you, Nancy, I think.
Same here.
Cause our, like, they come out from Bridgeport, the sign is right there, and it's just. Beautiful foliage, you know what I mean? But I can't see this lake, but like, I want something there, and I know that you can't have that there, there's, again, like the stuff that you're like. Need to make sure we're legal with all sorts of things, but I love the idea of something.
Same here, because I mean, I may get,
I know the sculptures in Seattle, so I did, yeah, and her, and she said, oh, my artwork, that's so.
oh, that's too bad.
So it seems to be very secure.
Yeah.
Big and.
Well, it's in there, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would get my way, but I would love to see something really tall. I mean, I think it would be really cool if people come down Nyanza and they see this piece coming down Nyanza, or they come around the corner on Bradley Lake Drive and then they see that. I mean, if I get voted down, then I get voted down, but I don't wanna see something 8 feet tall. I want something taller.
In my example would be the Bridgeport, like, you know, those kinds of, or even international districts better, because there's not a lot of stuff about Bridgeport, that's the main entrance to our city, at Regal.
Mhm.
I like the colors, because, or something. It's pretty dark to me. So it is more like the sun and then through the colors, like the shining. So there.
And we can't have like anything. Like visually distracting, I mean, it is a roundabout,
There's some rules.
you know, so we can have lights and things like that, but.
With the sunlight.
Exactly, you know, we can have it lit, we can have different, you know, probably lit it up with different colors, but. You know, there's some really kind of cool art where it changes depending on how you view it, and then that would just be. Cool. No, I mean, still. But we'll get more of those expectations from the planning part, or the public works department.
I don't think, I haven't thought about it, and I think guys would propose.
I wanna try to have at least some artists and concept shows that are here. Because there's 3 seats up for reelection. So. Where's my- There are 3, yeah.
So we have 3 artists, what's the next step in narrowing it down? Of course, you haven't done the department.
I've already, I mean, I like Dr. and Barry Cross and. Oh, sorry, so. Those are my votes.
So I just texted Sally an option. We recently had a sculpture commission for outside our new STEM building at our 12th campus for Pierce College. And it's a piece titled Sun Lodge, and it's kind of exactly what you were describing. very tall, it has these legs that come up, and then in the center, beautiful, glass pieces, so when the sun shines through different angles, it's just beautiful color on the ground, and, yeah, it's just a beautiful piece, so. Yeah, it's gorgeous on campus. Oh, yeah, that's the one that's in front of our stand.
So I guess, so this has happened before where, you know, we've got some artists, but then people are like, hey, I wanna throw in this artist, I wanna throw in that artist, so we need to have that dialogue. I think that's an important dialogue. Are we opening it up to artists we haven't worked with, or are we sticking with the artists we've already vetted?
I think that's open to both. I don't care.
It was keeping their minds to their clients.
Yeah, we're on a tight timeline.
And we did vet all these ones.
Open it up.
We did.
I will open it up to everybody, you can't just. What happened?
Yeah.
Because then you come back to the city and that there is a place, non-transparent process. That's the only one.
Right.
Sure.
And I was telling her it'd be cool if it was, something, it just wasn't a one-time thing, one roundabout, but we could do sculptures and things.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of them.
All of them.
Okay, well,
I love that.
I like to roll.
I like it.
Roll with one hand and
I was in somebody's house the other day. I was in, you know, Craig Berry Goes.
I know the.
Yes, I was at their house the other day. They're like, there should be instructions. And I'm like, why do we need instruction?
I know.
Get in the circle. You know,
okay,
yeah, they're one of the-
any other
They're like,
suggestions?
what else do we have? Get
Well,
the
Mike,
girl.
it's that you've done this, so we've got 3 artists, how would you suggest, we're kind of
Yes.
wanting to read along? What do you suggest for the process?
Well, I think, we were going to have a conversation, I think a big conversation with the 3 artists to see if they have the interest. Whether they can, help us with fundraising, because obviously, basically all these artists are too expensive for us. And how far into the process are they willing to go? And then that will beat out maybe 1 or 2, and then we'll have a candidate. Unless you're really committed to one of these already.
I think you should go with the. Said about who would help you guys with the vaccine.
Mhm.
So that would. What you said about how who would help with. the
Yes,
vaccine. I think that would put
yeah.
whatever artists you guys come down to, like, to the top. Because
Exactly.
it's just so efficient.
If they have those mechanics in place, so it'd be good to, ask.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of part of our request. really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's sort of the overarching theme we want. Here's the limitations or the criteria. From Public Works for safety. And we need your assistance.
But not just, you're just not gonna need their assistance, you wanna say, we're gonna help you too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
just make
criteria
sure that
and-
there's some stuff.
And see who's willing to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
And I
right.
think, yeah, absolutely, and very specific. We want you to be part of this fundraising team, and we want you to come with us and make presentations and so forth, so they understand. what I'm-
Very good point.
Yeah, it's the proposal.
Yes. Yes. And I would explore it verbally first. For anything to do. Writing, so that we know what we're asking.
Sally, I don't know the legal stuff.
Yeah,
There's all, there's a deal out there.
yeah, I think that needs to be explored as well, part of the goals and the.
We are exploring that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll have to close the room.
April. And, well, that's a great.
Great start.
Lou, what do you want?
Gerald has his hand raised.
Daryl.
Hi, you guys. It just kind of occurred to me that as a group, we really learn from each experience, and I think the Colonial Park Fleming piece was a good experience for us in that, you know, we had vetted a lot of artists, some who had more experience than others, especially in fabrication and installation. And I think if we do decide to open this up and vet to more artists, those would be some of the criteria we would look at. Have they done pieces like this on this scale? Have they worked with other entities of the city that deal, you know, with like the amount of traffic coming through and those sort of things. I do remember the Haddad Drugan team had done a really good presentation, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're the ones who did the installation at Angle Lake Park with the transit that you guys can see from the freeway. So a team like that would have that type of experience working with the municipality, and especially the amount of traffic that's going to be going through there. So my big thing is we obviously learned from some of the other experiences that we had, and you know, we got a little pushback from Fleming's, but no fault of our own. That had to do with the participation of people in comments and that sort of thing. If you guys remember that during the unveiling, so I wanted to kind of convey my thoughts that opening this up is a good idea, but if we do, it should be with some criteria that, you know, the artist has some experience with something of this scope and size and has considered all those things. I'll mute.
Thanks, Daryl. Okay, so any other comments before? I think, okay, that's a good point. So Daryl was mentioning opening it up. I think Susan was saying if we open it up, we have to open it really broadly. So do we want to vote on that? Either we are going to go with the three that were the finalists that have already been vetted, or start from scratch and open it up. Do you want this to be a dialogue or a vote?
I think a dialogue would be helpful.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that with our three finalists, they have invested in us. They have had conversations with us, they followed through. And my thought is to honor their commitment to us, which obviously they have. And they also have the credentials. And we did have a local process before that.
Yeah, we did. Just couldn't hire all of them. We could only hire one of them.
So I think, and if we want to have something by the end of the year, then I wouldn't.
Yeah, if we have a short timeline, opening it up. Yeah, I agree with him. Especially for the role yourself with time. And also we are even bigger, open to.
Yes, and will be hopefully, since we've had good experience, amenable to the conversation about balance.
Well, they were great artists.
Yes.
We liked all of them.
Yeah.
They're very good
And at the
artists.
end of the day, we could only choose one, so they already were favorites, so. Yeah, that is,
My opinion.
it's already happened. Yeah, I agree.
So, is anyone not in agreement with using these three artists and opening it up instead? Anyone on video, speak up now. You're all
He's still got his hand up.
And then like we've already just talked about too.
Totally forgot that. Sorry, folks.
I like the artists, all three. They have some good work.
Sometimes this might feel like it's moving fast, so, you know, I think right now what I'm hearing is most people are agreeing to the three. You know, if you digest this and something's really not sitting well, just, you know, call me. And we'll talk through that, okay? Does that sound more definitive, Nikki? Thank you. Yes. Wonderful, thank you, Ron, Bill, for your work on that. Two things, Patty, Councilmember Bell is here, to present everyone with a thank you. And it came up also, during your joint commission meeting to design a new plan. So after Patty has time, we will discuss that, but also David is here. And he has a potential project for the Arts Commission tonight. So we're gonna screen after Patty's presentation. Yeah, we'll screen you. We definitely want to talk about the point design and talk about, so we'll have Patty go ahead and then we'll have
Yes.
you go and then we'll circle back.
So the coins, I don't know if you guys know about city coins, we use coins a lot of places also have coins, if we use them, they trade them, but they're meant to be commemorative and a thank you. And really just show your commitment, thank you for your commitment to what you've done for the city and your participation in your service. It can mean a lot of things, so that's what I'm focusing on with you guys. Who are probably the best commission that we have. The amount of work that you guys turn out, the amount of, and it's not even that. It's you communicate really well. Your presentations to council are amazing. You know what you're doing, you know where you're coming from. We know where you're going. We know that we can say, hey, let's think about our part in the middle of roundabout, and you guys go to town on everything, you know. So all of that, we just wanted to give you these, and I'm representing council, and just as a major thank you for all of the work and your service that you guys do. And it's not just getting the art out there, it's the events that you're involved with, your relationships, the many new things, like just out here, we have the gallery now. To me, that's the City Hall gallery. So just stuff like that, I just want to thank you and let you know that you are all very much appreciated. Even the people on the screen, you're not there. So I will.
Why, thank you.
You're a visitor. You're a visitor.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and this is a great segue of going into how can we make it look cooler.
So before we, you council members, do you think we're a meeting? Okay, because we do have a retreat coming up, and for anyone that want to get confirmation on that, we'll talk about. Thank you so much. This is a good, would you like to present real quick and then we'll come back to the city? Okay, so David has a PowerPoint in the folder key, and we'll just hop on over to that. This one. Yes, very good. I know. I'm thinking of it. And the speakers here, I don't know if you want to come closer, so everything else fine. Okay, that would be great because we have it. You can just introduce yourself.
My name is Davi. I'm the Parks Capital Project Manager. There's two of us at Parks, and Parks Directors too. So in the meantime, we're staying busy. If you all are not familiar, we have so many projects going on here at the city, the legacy plan. Some of you all may have heard about that. I want to do a quick plug. There's a survey out finally for the legacy plan where we're soliciting feedback on how to improve our parks. Take a look at the bulletin that comes out at the end of the week with a link to that survey. Encourage you all to take it, share it with others. But today, one of the projects that is just on my plate that I just received some plans for is the Westlake Street Ends pilot project, and this has been a long time coming, important city council goal to connect people to the water. Westlake Avenue was selected earlier this year as a, or late last year, right, yeah, Westlake Avenue, I'll give some more information about that. There's street ends are basically streets that terminate into lakes that provide water access. They're a right of way, so we don't really have a parcel number associated with them. They're a public access easement. And this first one that we're developing is a really unique one. That's not Westlake, that's just an example. We have over 13 of them throughout the city. The one that I'm talking about is number 1, right there on Lake Steilacoom. There's about 6 on Lake Steilacoom, including Edgewater Park. And then there's a few on Gravely Lake, a few on Lake Louise, and 2 on American Lake. So the first one that we're doing here is on Lake Steilacoom on the opposite side of Edgewater Park. It's just an important kind of orientation for Westlake Avenue. But this site and in general, street end reports have been a conversation with the city, I think, since about 2009. A report was put out that assessed the 14 sites on those different lakes. Update was done to that report in 2022 with some support from Stacy, the other project manager, narrowed it down to about 12 sites that are potentially developable. And then in 2024, just last year, we put together a priority matrix that really helped us narrow it down on how to really choose a site. So council has a goal to develop these every 2 years. So last year we focused on design. This year we focused on design. Next year we're hoping to get this in construction. So really the goal is to get these moving as quickly as possible. Generally, the design approach for these street ends are looking at how we're assessing parking, how we're impacting parking in the neighborhood, creating some form of a parking ADA parking stall, minimize impacts to the neighborhood, to improve bicycle parking, create some sort of signage and side marker that really tells people the street end is here, come visit, come see the water. There's just minor furnishings that we can add just to improve that experience, reduce maintenance as much as possible. We have a small maintenance team, so making sure that we're not extending our team too much. Preserve the trees that are there and just work with the existing conditions as much as possible to just connect people to the water, most importantly, and incorporate really key SEPTA design principles that encourage us to think about how environmental design can reduce crime, how the design outcome can help people feel safe. And really the goals of this effort is to improve public access, improve livability in neighborhoods, diversify recreation, diversify access to water, increase environmental stewardship, improve ADA access, reduce neighborhood impacts and neighbor impacts, improve views, encourage walkability. This wayfinding one is really important here. I think we can think about public art, integrating public art into some sort of wayfinding feature or some sort of element that can be the barrier between neighbors and that public property. And ultimately, we want to just increase equity and access to diverse open spaces throughout the city, and I think street ends can help really do that. So this is a photo of what the latest conditions are. These change day to day. Sometimes people use them very frequently and get down to the water. Sometimes they're covered in blackberry. Today, you probably get down to the water pretty easily and see kind of the shore. But this one was chosen because of the views. There was a lot of trees that are blocking the water access. There were initially, there wasn't any apparent encroachment. We have found some now that we've done the survey, but I think this was just a site that was ripe for development. The way that is very quick, and that's seeming like the case after we've gone through design at this point. So really excited about that. We've done some engagement early this year. We hired a consultant in the summer. We have the preliminary design, which I may not fully share here, this is the master plan, I don't want to share too many details actually, but this is the master plan, we can share the master plan. There's some opportunities to think about either arts at the front end of the site to call people and draw them in. And as I was kind of talking through this and giving some feedback for our designers, there's also some opportunity to think about art panels, art or fencing that can serve as some sort of barrier between both of the properties along kind of where that vegetation is. So we're thinking about having some taller shrubs on those edges to become that barrier. But in addition to that, to kind of decrease the visibility into other people's yards, I think some panels will be very interesting, but I think that I want to open that up to conversation with everybody on what would make the most sense. This is kind of a really prime time to be talking about this, to think about how we can integrate public art down the line, but really wanted to have the conversation as possible.
How many feet is it if we were to do panels from start to, if you were
Yeah.
gonna do panels the whole way, how many feet is that?
So it's about 120 feet, but I think realistically, we could probably just get away with those, about 60 feet across from the southern side up to that second tree. And get away with something that would make sense and make an impact, to keep a great barrier and also just create some elements that can provide some education opportunities about what kinds of fish are in the water, or some education opportunities about how we can increase healthier watershed and just a healthier lake by types of activities that we do for stewardship. But yeah, that's where we are. This draft is publicly available through the Street End report. But happy to share a copy with you all. And we are in permitting right now. We are going to get some feedback to keep developing this further. At this point, yeah, thinking about that element that becomes that placemaker feature, like Councilmember Patty was saying, so that people can, when they see it, they know, oh, this is the street end. This is where we should go and enjoy the water. Yes. Good. And then just other elements that can become pieces of environmental education for the community.
What's the budget for this particular park?
Yeah, so we have 500,000 set aside for design and for construction. And so at this point, that's all ARPA funds, and I think the public art piece can be in addition to that budget. We can find sources, potentially ask funds through LTAC, or just explore other avenues to make something like this happen. But one of the earlier ideas I was talking to Sally about is using some of the budget for the fencing that we have set aside as a public art piece altogether, instead of it just being some sort of functional fencing. So holding art into it instead of it being some sort of barrier, I think might be just a unique opportunity there that we can use money from the budget for this project to do that public art piece and supplement it with some other funds.
Is the fencing to separate neighbors?
Correct. Yeah, the fencing would be to just kind of create that barrier between public and private property. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll have vegetation to do that delineation. And we're thinking about a split rail fence to just kind of serve the purpose, but I think we'll do better with split rail fence, although that will work functionally. Well. There's a lot of time. I think we can aim for sometime like in the spring, after we've gotten through key permits, to kind of talk again and see what makes sense. But yeah, spring, early summer would be good. Things aren't too busy.
I'm really pleased that Lakewood's going forward with this because from what I understand, the lakes are public, but they're really private because the public doesn't really have access to them. And I always see people fishing on that one bridge. I can't remember what bridge is it Interlochen Bridge?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, that's like accidents waiting to happen, these little kids right on the edge. And I really like the idea of giving access to the public to these different lakes. So thank you for putting this before the city and going forward with this.
Thanks for the feedback. It's been a priority for council and we're happy to be developing the next steps for this project.
Were there more images on?
There's some images of some of the elements that make up the project, which could be incorporated into public art potentially, but I mean, some of these are just functional steps. Either wooden steps or concrete steps, bike racks that could be functional, or it could be some sort of public art piece that still tie their bike up to, benches, things that are just kind of the elements. I do have another slide that shows some other ideas of kind of that idea of sculptural bike racks, which can be really cool. A wayfinding marker example that just shows, oh, this is a map of maybe the future street ends, or just the street ends at this lake would be really interesting, and then kind of naming that street end point. Right now, we just call it what that street is, but maybe it could be named instead. And then specifically the panels that I was thinking about, I had a project in mind with these like barriers are like 5-6 feet tall, depending on how we can get away with permitting, maybe a little shorter, but that becomes some sort of screen that, you know, I see a welder putting some really cool, unique community art elements and telling a story with a panel that can be just kind of placed really and thoughtfully along and serve as a good barrier for the neighbor. And
Right, it defines the edge, but it's the artwork along the way.
yeah, that's one of the major concerns that people are bringing up, that not just those two neighbors, but because this is a pilot project, we want to set a good example for how we're addressing that concern, where people aren't just kind of gonna walk onto somebody's private property, and doing it in a way that's artful and keeps them away will be just kind of a good win for this pilot project.
How many parking spaces do you have?
We can get away with 2 non-ADA stalls, and then we'll definitely have 1 ADA stall. I'm saying we could get away with 2, is there's a driveway that will be added in the future for this specific site that's going to remove a stall once that parcel is developed, but for now, we'll have 2 non-ADA, potentially 2 and 1 ADA.
So it's somewhat discreet.
Very sweet.
And you said there's street parking though?
Yeah, there is that whole street. It has, I mean, the right of way is about 60 feet wide, and for that community meeting that we had, many people parked throughout the street. I mean, the goal for the street ends are that they're neighborhood accessible stalls or they're neighborhood accessible sites. So the parking isn't a priority just because it would take a lot of the budget. But we want to prioritize that ADA stall as the key one that we're developing. And then, yes, there are opportunities for public right-of-way parking throughout all the way to the front.
How did the neighbors feel about that?
They provided feedback on making sure that mailboxes are not blocked. I think that's a key part of the concerns that people are bringing up, just like parking away from those mailboxes is one of the things that our designers thinking about. And then, I mean, providing as much parking on site, which right now we can potentially do 2 non-ADA stalls.
I really like the art divisions rather than doing fencing. Those look really cool.
Yeah, pretty excited about those, and unique way to approach it. There's a lot of unique ways to approach it.
Well, thank you for thinking, that's a mission and including it.
I've been trying to find one of those key projects to bring you all in, so I'm excited to work with you all, and I'll look forward to doing some photos.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Well done.
You too.
Thank you.
Before we move on, any dialogue or thoughts that we can capture? We do need to talk about the retreat in the City Point, but if anything's top of mind, I'll take note. Yeah, field trip. Field trip, okay. Okay, we, well, you can. Point they said.
Yeah, so, the final piece of new business, so you mentioned the joint commission meeting we had with the city council, and the sculpture in the roundabout was one of the things we talked about. The other thing was a new design for the city coin, coming up for the 30th anniversary of the city. So the slide that you're looking at right now, y'all have them in front of us. Bell. This is the current coin, and so there's opportunity to design another one. So that is something that we can develop a subcommittee for. Those are, if that's a particular project that interests you. And I don't know, do we have time? Yeah, that's minutes.
Well, it's next year, so we probably wanna be able to get it out, and the Summerfest is the big part of the 30th, of the celebration, so I would say we would wanna kind of spring kind of thing, summer, getting it out.
That's why, is there something happening that is just for the anniversary?
Not that I'm.
Not yet.
I think its anniversary is like February. I feel like that's just.
Yeah, maybe they're waiting for the parks grant fair. Yeah. But, so, okay, February,
I thought, I don't know, I have to look.
I
it
think
up.
you're right, I think
But
I remember it's
feel
not
like
the most
that's-
ideal.
No, it's not like, oh, summertime and now we can just wrap it into.
It's like the worst month out of the year.
Yeah.
Does anyone have experience with this or any ideas off the top of their head? It's also the 250th birthday of America, so.
I could probably help you with manufacturing that. I don't have any idea.
So I did find out that this one was made through Tacoma Trophy.
Yeah, so that,
So do we have like just elements you can think of off the top of your head that you definitely think should be included or that you like or don't like about this one?
Trio?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
I wrote
yeah.
it down.
I mean, obviously the logo.
Mhm.
So this is, but it's two-sided. I think it's good.
So would it really,
You could do one side, you know, that is 30th anniversary.
Not the city hall building.
right?
Yeah, I think that front. I think that, I mean, the logo is our logo.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I think it'd be kind of cool if we just didn't do the colors.
Yeah.
And
Did
just,
it look like black and gold?
yeah, or and you just, or just the relief itself, that would be inside with the logo.
Like,
You know what I mean?
Here.
Instead of the enameling.
Yeah, well, like that's what I mean by black and gold, because this is like.
Yeah.
Black and white, so.
Exactly.
Like the black and white, maybe. But the back could be a twin. Especially.
You
City
council
Hall.
members, what do you think? I mean, it's a coin, what speaks to you? How do you envision them?
I was thinking, over the logo, if you do something up on the other side. It's. Yeah, there really go.
Maybe having something that says like 30th anniversary and then like area of like relief or something like.
The word flourish
No, not the word flourish, but just like.
indicating.
Maybe incorporate, did someone say incorporate oak leaves since that's what Lakewood's known for?
Yeah, and then, yeah, and then Bentley was saying like it's symbolic of flourishing, which I love that. Jonah,
My question is this coin just going to be distributed just for the 30th year? Or is it the intent to use it for a decade, or what's the goal with the coin?
is it a limited edition? It sounds like it's a limited edition.
That sounds like. Because I'm sure there's probably little.
It's
Yes.
adorable.
I would guess.
So yes, limited edition for 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Would they be open to beloved community?
What? What was that? Oh, that's part of it.
Well, city council, come to a consensus. Beloved community, do you mean in words or images?
Words and image.
That's the one. Well, not that I know.
I like, what do you think? Patty?
For beloved community.
Yeah, it was those images.
Well, I mean, I think it's more of an anniversary. I mean, I get if we wanted to be inclusive of the community. 1996 to 2026. That would, and there's limited space on there and stuff, that would be my option.
I mean, if you did like a good, hopefully you could just did that.
And so I think you guys would just need to figure out how you would beloved community speaks to our 30-year anniversary. Because I just think that there's limited space on there. You don't want to cut too much. You want to do more visuals. Like I love Oak or something. Just the dates. I mean, I think very simple is and saves. And the date,
This is a 30th anniversary. on
no,
it,
it
right?
doesn't. You just put the year, but I mean, it's supposed to be part of the point.
Yeah,
So I
so
think that's what.
maybe you get on the front there, E96 dash to 2020.
You can need those and do anything
You
like
just
what those,
break it.
yeah, do, but you start with your ideas on, don't even look at those. How did you get these? These are the points that are staying. You guys
Yeah,
want to
lot.
be working on a commemorative special anniversary.
Okay, I am going to say, I think that I would love her, think about this. Until our next, and come back, everyone come back with like some designs that you've found. And you can send them to me, I'll put them in a PowerPoint or ideas you like. Do some research and see what resonates. It could even just be images, or it could be another. How does that sound? I think we all need to kind of wrap our heads around it a little bit for sure. Some research. Okay, so we'll come back.
I think the biggest thing is don't get hooked up on what you're seeing now currently. Yes. Because, yeah, two sides, and then it's round.
There could also be some added text on the edge too.
Does it have to be round?
I think so, because that goes like, there's a lot of Lee's points.
They like the round.
They like the point, and they have those, a lot of things where they put the coins in.
Yeah.
To display.
That's like a standard size.
Is, I think this is the
Yeah, I
standard
think we
size.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, military does it.
I know, but they use a lot of different shapes.
Every
That was on there.
You can allow me.
I know, gotta stick to the point.
Thank you, everyone. We have two more really important things to get to. We are going to very, very quickly scroll through these final wraps that went up this last weekend at American Lake, and then we're going to talk about the retreat. And I want to get that in everyone's calendar. So we can just do this really quick, but these went up. This last weekend. There's another page. That's so cool.
Yeah,
And then I think one more.
so good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
Okay.
love them. They look great.
So great job. I mean, they're just amazing. So selecting Sarah Robbins was just an amazing decision, guys. And so then the retreat. So I talked to Susan and we have a date. I would like to have everyone's confirmation if they can come. So it's November 7th, which is the date that we picked last meeting. It's a Friday. Thank you, Susan. What it came out to be is 4:30 to 6:45 at the Museum of Flat. with a glass fusing workshop.
It's okay.
So the first 30 minutes is actually watching in the hot shop.
Yes.
So we get to just from 4:30 to 5, we get to watch them at work. From 5 to 5:45 is the glass fusing workshop. And then a 15-minute break, and then Susan is going to lead us on a tour of the a private tour of the Museum of Glass. Or 45 minutes.
So 4:30 to when?
6:45. We need to throw some food in there somewhere.
That
maybe
was
in
my
that 15 minute break.
question.
Just so I can put it out in the
Yeah.
museum shop.
Yeah, I can go to that round circle in the middle of the studio and then
Okay.
we'll tour the exhibitions and then we'll go behind the scenes.
Yep.
I like.
Okay,
Susan,
so
took me
I
on a
am
nice
taking a
tour.
roll call.
Let's go.
What?
Yeah, I said you took me on a nice tour there a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Adriana, can you attend? Oh, yes. Lummy,
Yes.
Patty,
I think so. Looking, but yes.
Earl,
I can, yes.
yes.
You said
Emily.
Tentative if I can get childcare, because Tyler's gonna be out of town.
Let's just put that on the just right now.
Yeah.
Rare, lock the
And we'll
door.
leave the dogs with her.
Like you're in a hot shower.
Yeah. And then, I'm still learning your guys' name, I know Kathleen, but you participated in the last year's, is that gonna work for you?
Right, I'm leaving on a trip that day, but I don't know if I'm doing morning or like, yeah, right, so
Okay.
I'll let you guys know.
Okay. And just say your name and then.
Valeria, and I should be able to.
Okay,
Please.
it's gonna be so fun, if you need a ride. let me know. And.
We also have a lot more other art.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, there's a lot. I could send out a message.
It's $45 a person.
Okay.
So like committing, being there on time is an important thing. So, if you wanna throw that out to them, or I could ask them, tell you, so that would be great. And then food, I'll brainstorm with Bonnie and we'll come up with the appetizers dinner.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be so fun.
Yes, it is.
Remote people, Daryl. Thank you. Yes, Sylvie. Yes. Shauna.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Shauna.
Yes.
Yay. See, it's $45.
She may cover it.
Oh, I'll cover that.
Yeah, I'll pay all the students.
Oh, so we just have to, AD, Bill, and the sponsor it's
And we'll have to pay for it.
They would all be, everyone, this will not have anyone's pocket.
Okay. Oh, you're saying pay for it, so therefore you're wanting an RSVP. Okay.
Correct, scraps, and for the food. Do we have any certain type of food that we want?
I feel like some vegetarian now.
Last
But
year-
not everything has to be vegetarian. Well, like one vegetarian, one vegetarian option.
Fine.
Is there a certain
No,
calorie
it's so
with it all?
We do have a key fix.
Oh, yeah, thanks, thank you.
I know what it's saying.
Yeah, don't,
Me.
I just told John, you guys think about it.
Okay, awesome.
It's not like Jimmy John's or, you know.
No.
Nothing like
I
that.
would never do that.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Okay,
What's the time?
Yeah.
4:30 to 6:45. And you walk away with a piece of art.
Yes,
Well,
and
you gotta go back and
it has to, and then it has to go into the queue. So that the actual time will be available the next day, actually, probably not for another day, so we would let you know, and then, you know.
Well, or in a city, you could pick the whole pile of them up, and then maybe, then they'll all
Yeah.
here at City Hall, that might
Right.
be the easiest.
This might
way
be the
to do that.
easiest, we do to stay on now. That's still. This time it's.
Okay, Well, I want to be respectful of the time and it's 6:15. We didn't get through everything, but we do have already another, rotating art show, October 20th. Okay, so it's the first college show, so that's a Monday night here, 5 to 7, 5:30 to 7. And so I hope to see everyone there. It is part of the Arts Commission happening there. It's wonderful. Usually the youth council comes down for the choice, some of it just bright people.
Yes.
But it is fellow students, you know, it's college students. So October 20th,
Okay.
and then I've gotten 3 submissions for artwork from Pierce College students, and it's completely not acceptable. I have the images, but we don't have time to show those. But Kellis is also submitting artwork from her students, so I'm hopeful that we'll have some great art. With signal boxes. Okay,
Okay.
sorry. I just wanted to-
What's that appropriate?
I mean, we could show you one if you want to. But I put them on the PowerPoint, but.
There you go.
Yeah.
This one? This one?
No, the other one.
Still was.
Yeah.
And I was feeling like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear my. My boots.
That was happening, Jesus, that's amazing.
Susan, thank you for organizing.
Oh,
It was
you're
so
welcome.
awesome.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, it's so affordable.
Hey, that'll be great. That'll be great.
Sorry.
You were looking at accessible.
Oh, there was one more for the trash base.
Unhappy.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, these are the trash bays that we're looking at, doing next, that Earl took pictures of. These are the trash bays we're looking at.
I had to risk my life for those images.
I'm always risking your. For the art, always for the. art.
Okay, here we go. Well, this is a photograph, that's decent. This was,
Oh,
you know. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
my little leg was so.
So. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and this
Oh.
was a Hispanic Heritage
We're
Month
getting
proclamation.
the
Thank you,
council on a
Sylvie, and
I am not.
may as well go through it. What's next? Oh, this was the, our last art show. It was such a wonderful experience. And we had a lot of VIPs turn out from the Korean Association of Washington. And this is for Black, the Black artists for first quarter reception here in 2026. We're going to have several Black artists are coming here Wednesday to look at the space, but Rodney King.
I was gonna say that's.
Oh,
really, like, something bad.
Sorry.
Sorry, I made a big.
So I asked him if he had any new art since he showed last year, and if you go back. So these are new pieces and I loved them. So he'd like to show these. There's 2 others.
Nice.
I like that.
And so
Sally, did you,
and there's 8 Black artists who agreed to.
Sally, did you reach out to all the Black artists
I did.
about Wednesday? Okay, great, thanks.
And so they're gonna view the space Wednesday. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone had art that I felt met the criteria. So.
Great.
And I don't know if I was able, well, we'll have a conversation, Sylvia. I think I had a hard time finding your people, but I'll go through my list with you. So thank you for sending those recommendations.
Thanks, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.